So now that you know how to get to the flower, the next phase is learning how to get what we call a deep or anchored cross. But notice it has the same color right here, right here, right here, right here. Okay, so it's called the anchored cross. That's your goal. So how do you get there? There's a 3-step process. The first part is setup, then step 1, step 2. And it's very important that you follow exactly that. Setup, step 1, step 2. Not setup, 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 setup. A lot of people do that and it messes them up. Okay? So setup, step 1, step 2. So how do you do the setup? Well, choose any of the petals of the flower. Choose any of them. Have one facing you, and then look for the color that's right next to it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to turn the bottom 2 rows until the same color lines up. So you have the same color center and the same color at the top. So that becomes your setup. Now remember, I said step 1, step 2. You don't do setup again until you finished 1 and 2. Okay. So, what is step 1? It's just simply turning the whole cube one time. So, step 1 is one move. And you're going to be turning it to your right. So step 2 is 2 moves. You're going to move the right column twice. 1, 2. Done. Now, notice you have the next petal facing you. Do the same thing over again. So that was setup. Now, do you remember what step 1 was? Step 1 is the whole cube to your right. Step 2, right, the right column twice. 1, 2. The petals are gone, so you're going to turn the cube upside down. And now you have an anchored cross. So with the Rubik's Cube, the goal for this lesson was to get to the anchored cross. Well, which learning technique matches up with that one? This one is probably something that you've heard in the past. That if you can teach something, then you've learned it. So how do we do that? How do we get to the point of being able to teach something new? There's a few different techniques. Some people learn by doing. Some people learn by specific instructions. And if you have the packet that I've emailed to you, then you have this page and it's specific instructions. No matter if you're somebody that learns from instructions or if you learn from doing, it doesn't matter. What I want you to try to do here is take this page, turn it to the back, and write your own instructions. use the front of the page to help you and to guide you. But if you write your own, that's going to help a lot. Think about learning like our brains are like a sponge. And when the water hits that sponge, after a while, the water just goes right through. Well, the same is true with our brain, right? So, last lesson, I told you to do the flower 5 times before you went to the next stage. Why? This is the reason why. If you continue on without mastering something, then the water or the learning is just going to go right through the sponge. But if you take the time, and it doesn't take a lot of time, then you master something, then you can learn something new a lot easier. Basically, what's happening when you do each stage 5 times before going on to the next, it's like you're wringing out that sponge so that new water or information can flow in. Okay, so the learning technique is becoming the teacher of the information. Now what about the life technique? Well, in this case, the life technique, you've already started to dream. What are your dreams? Now let's talk about becoming passionate about life itself. Deep down, I believe that all of us are here to make the world a better place. And we can choose to do that or not. It's up to us. For myself, as a teenager, I had been fired 3 different times from McDonald's. I never got out of French fries. I'm not good at that. And I started to think that my life was just worth nothing. Started thinking, what if I wasn't here? At the same time, I started thinking about, what am I passionate about? What am I good at? What do I really enjoy? And I would ask you the same questions. What are the things that you really enjoy in life? What are the things that people tell you that you're skilled at? And maybe you think, no big deal. For me, sign language came to mind. I thought, I can improve my signing skills. And I started focusing on that. Obviously, it made a lot of difference. For you, what is it that you're good at? What are you passionate about? Focus on that and see how much more alive your life becomes. All right, so the cube is the anchored cross. The learning technique is teach. When you can teach, you've mastered it. And the life technique is find your passion in life. What are you good at? And if you don't know, just keep searching for something. We'll see you in the next lesson, where when you're finished with this next lesson, you will have finished one third of the cube.